Hello and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I am your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and thank you to everyone who is joining me this evening. I hope you've had a wonderful week. As always, the way this show works is if you post your question in chat, then I will do a 3-card spread. I had a wonderful weekend. I was at the Galactic Expo in Indianapolis along with Ed the Pagan Hubbard and Reverend Don Lewis. We had a great time there. And hello to Jade Rising. How are you today, Jade? Good to see you. And if anyone has a question, go ahead and post it in chat. Unfortunately, Reverend Brian is not able to join me tonight. He is having a power outage. So hopefully we will have Reverend Brian back next week. The last message I had from him, he and Elvis and his husband are still sitting in the dark, or maybe they just gave up and went to bed. That's probably what I would have done. So, hope everyone is having a great evening. We've had storms here in Tennessee today, but so far, no power. Well, rain's not storm. It's rained here a little. It didn't really storm. We stormed yesterday. So, and thank you all for joining me. And I think I am done traveling for a while. I will keep you posted, but I don't have anything else planned right now. So, if you've got a question, go ahead and post it in chat. The Galactic Expo was a whole lot of fun. I met a whole lot of interesting people with a lot of different modes of reading. And Jade wants to know if they will be moving to the family farm. Okay, I'm going to put a 6-month time frame on that. Hi, Dee. I am doing well, and you can certainly have a general reading. So let me get this shuffled up for Jade. Moving to the family farm sounds wonderful. And we do have an escapee here. So I'm going to put that one off to the side. All right. So the first card I've got is the 3 of Cups. So you can see you celebrating with family and friends. I've got the 8 of Pentacles, and this means that you are being respected for your work. We got the 4 of Pentacles, which means you're going to have enough money for your needs and enough to share. And I got the Prince of Lamps, which suggests that what you want or what you're asking about is not really good for you. And then you said you're a suburbs kind of gal. So I'm going to say with the 3 of Cups, you're going to get the kind of outcome you want. So with you saying you're a suburbs kind of gal, it sounds like you don't really want to move to the family farm. So the outcome you get is one that you're going to celebrate. So, and it's going to be a good move financially for you. So you're going to be happy with it. So since you're a suburbs kind of gal, I'm going to say no, you're not going to the farm. You're going to stay where you are and things will be good for you there. And D had asked for a general reading and then said, would I get employment soon? So we're going to ask about D's finances. And I agree with you, Jade. I'm a suburbs kind of girl. There are cows near where I live, but I'm not the one cleaning up after them, and I'm perfectly happy with that. All right. So, what have we got here for D? All right. So, the first card I've got for you, D, is Future. And here we see a character who could be either Daedalus or Icarus. And if you remember the story from the Greek legend, Daedalus made two sets of wings from wax and feathers. Daedalus warned his son Icarus not to fly too close to the sun. Daedalus followed his own advice and got off the Isle of Crete safely, but Icarus flew too close to the sun. The wax melted his wings and he fell into the sea. So, this is saying proceed forward with reasonable caution. I've got the Emperor. The Emperor is the Lord of the cycles of time. And he reminds us that when times are good, lay something back for when times are not so good. And when times are bad, it won't last forever. And I've got the Eight of Cups that says, what you're afraid of is not real. So turn around and face it. And I'm going to draw one more card for you. I've got the King of Wands. And wands are about the things we're passionate about. And this is someone who has gotten to a good position in life by following their passions. So I'm going to say that to find a job, you need to be looking for careers that are for things you are passionate about. Don't be afraid to pursue your passions and move forward confidently with a reasonable amount of caution. And thank you. Dee says I look beautiful. Jade says they don't like things that break their nails, and I'm with you there. Okay, so we are caught up now. Does anyone else have a question for me? If you do, please go ahead and post it in chat. Hey, Kylene, good to see you. How are you doing in Australia? Sorry I didn't get to chat with you Monday, but I had just gotten in after a long drive. And hello to Reverend Cherry. Good to see you. And Reverend Cherry wants to know, will I go back to work? Okay, can we put a time frame on that, please? Just asking, will I go back to work is a bit ambiguous. So let's say, will you go back to work in the next 3 months? Okay, and then Kylene wants a reading for the winter solstice they are planning. Kylene says she is well, although a little cold down here, down under. Yes, I'm sure it is cold there. And we're planning on having temperatures here in the 90s where I live for the summer solstice. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say for Cherry. Okay, so the first card I've got is the stars. Here we see the figure of someone who is sitting on a mat or a cushion, and it looks like they are perhaps astral traveling, meditating. So, this card does advise you to do some spiritual work to bring this about. The next card I have is the Seven of Swords. And with the Seven of Swords, you're in a situation where victory is not impossible, but you need some careful work and careful planning. And then I've got the Wheel of Fortune, which means the universe is also going to send some luck your way. So, yes, you are going to get a job within the next 3 months, but you do need to be working at it, networking with people, applying, doing all those things we know we have to do in order to find work. And now we'll do a reading for Kylene's winter solstice ritual. And Jerry says here in Oklahoma, we finally get a break in rain, and that's good too. And you are very welcome. All right, and for Kylene, well, I get the feeling that you're feeling some sort of stuck with your ritual or the planning. We've got the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Wands. And both these cards show someone who is imprisoned in some way. So, something about your ritual planning has made you feel like it's stuck or it's not going anywhere. And then we've got the stars, which is suggesting you do some sort of meditation. And then we pull the Nine of Lamps, which with the Nine of Lamps is The Suit of Lamps is about our magic and spirituality. And the Nine of Lamps is basically you're kind of overthinking it. So I'm sure you know exactly what you're doing when you are planning a ritual. So go ahead, go through with your plans. You are overthinking it somewhat. Meditate a bit on it, and it is probably going to be just fine. All righty. And we are caught up, so I'm going to go ahead and do a word from our sponsors because we love our sponsors and we need their help with our expenses. So just a moment here.
Ready to unlock the secrets of the universe? Join me, Reverend Don Lewis, for my metaphysical and magic auctions at Gaia Thrift at whatnot.com. Discover fascinating artifacts, mystical crystals, and rare and unusual books that could change your life. Don't miss this chance to bring a little magic into your world. Reverend Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions, where the extraordinary can become yours.
And thank you to Reverend Don's Metaphysical and Magical Auctions and to Equinox Learning Hub. And Kylene says, thank you, that helps. We have someone extra coming in at the last minute who is a concern, but that has led to two options, which I will now meditate further on with reduced worry. I'm glad I could help you with that. Yes, I've got someone new coming Saturday who wants to check out our shrine. So, extra care with presenting a good ritual. I do understand that. Okay, does anyone else have a question? Or what are people doing for midsummer or midwinter? Yes, please click like and share. And if you are interested in a reading, let me get my caption up here. Don't forget that you can book a reading with me or Reverend Brian or Reverend Don at divinationtv.com, your destination for all things divination. So, and we are now working on a redesign of the website. My web designer and I are working on some ideas. Okay, I'm having ideas. Kayleen says we're going to shiver the quarter calls in Morse code. You're kidding me, right, Kayleen? We also had an interesting night last night. Pride Month is celebrated in June. And in Nashville, we have a tradition called Pride Spirituality Night, where different faith traditions present something short. And this is the third year that our shrine has been asked to present a short ritual. So Lucy, my other shrine member, and I did a very short ritual. Our coven or shrine gods are Athena and Zeus. So we asked them for protection and good weather, not this upcoming weekend, but the 28th and 29th is when we will have our Pride celebration here in Nashville. So we asked for protection and good weather. And Kylene says she is just joking about doing quarter calls in Morse code. And I'm also going to add that on Divination TV and Corellian TV, we will have our online solstice ritual this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're getting that organized now, but please join us if you have time. We always look forward to doing those. And does anyone else have a question for me? If you do, go ahead and post it in chat. Be happy to do a 3-card reading. While I was at the Galactic Expo, I taught my class on tarot journaling, which is kind of short and really boils down to, okay, get something to write in and do it. It came out of when I've taught other classes on tarot, people will ask me how to tarot journal. And there's so much information on tarot journaling and different types of tarot journaling available that a lot of people start reading up on it and get overwhelmed and decide they just can't do it. So, get something to write on, set up a file on your computer, set up a file on your phone. You can buy a tarot journal. You can go to your local store and buy a spiral notebook. It doesn't matter. There is not a particular day you must start on. Full moon's good, new moon's good, your favorite Sabbath is good. Tomorrow's good too. It doesn't matter. Just pick a day and start. Pull out 3 cards. Ask the tarot, what do I need to know for today? Or if you do it at night, what do I need to know for tomorrow? Record the cards in your journal. Write out what the cards are. And then do it again the next day. And look for trends. What cards keep popping up for you? Doing a tarot journal is not hard, it's not difficult. It just takes some dedication. All right. And does anyone else have a question for me this evening? I was doing tarot and numerology charts at the Galactic Expo. Numerology is one of the services I do offer at divinationtv.com. I think one of my favorite interactions was explaining numerology to a young lady. I think she was probably 10 or 11. She did not get a chart, but she had a whole bunch of good questions. Okay, well, we're coming up on a half an hour here. Nobody else seems to have any other questions, so I'm going to go ahead and close out at this point. Thank you, everyone who joined me, and I will be back next week. And I hope Reverend Brian will be able to join me. So thank you again. Have a wonderful week and a blessed solstice. And do remember to come and celebrate both solstices with us Sunday evening on Divination TV and Corellian TV at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, basically an hour before we start Tarot Thursday. So blessed be everyone.